Hello guys, I'm so excited to film today's video. I know that I already posted a video after I had Amelia, but I haven't had a chance to really just sit down and chat to you guys on YouTube. I feel like now I'm getting so much chatting out with our podcast, but there's still something so special about YouTube, being face to face, screen to screen. I feel like I haven't sat down and talked to you guys all about birth and postpartum and how Amelia is and what she's like. So I'm so excited today to just chat with you guys, be cozy, grab a coffee, because I'm sure this is going to be a long-ish video. I wanted to say thank you to ThredUp for sponsoring today's video. This is coming at a perfect time because we're going to chat all about just postpartum body, getting back to feeling like ourselves. And one of those things is finding cute clothes that fit your postpartum body, because the last thing that I want to do is try to squeeze in to clothes that fit me pre-pregnancy so soon after having a baby. Let me just tell you, that's not good for your mental health. So I picked up some really cute things on ThredUp, and they are actually having a huge Mother's Day sale right now. New members can get 35% off their order and free shipping for them and their kids. So this is a perfect time to shop ThredUp. If you don't know what ThredUp is, I've basically been a ThredUp fan for years upon years upon years now. They're a huge online thrift store, but picture like the best thrift store you've ever been in with all of your favorite brands, and everything is super easy to find. That's ThredUp. Zara, Anthropologie, Free People, Lululemon, they've got it all, and it's just so easy to shop. So from May 10th to May 13th, you guys can snag that deal that I just talked about, 35% off plus free shipping. So I want to show you guys what I grabbed from ThredUp, and of course I'll do a little try on, and then I'm going to grab Amelia and I'm going to chat all things postpartum. First up, I really needed a good pair of jeans, and I found these when I searched up Madewell. These are like a super wide leg jean, and I love the wash of them, and I just think Madewell does denim perfectly, so I knew that these would probably be a good fit. I also found this cozy fleece zip up. This is from Guess. I love the vintage vibes. I just love the colors of this. It has this like dusty pink edging around it. I think that this is so cute, and it's kind of like spring vibes while also, you know, keeping you warm when it's a little bit chilly. Is this not the cutest thing you've ever seen? This is from the brand Kath Kidston. I just think that this is the happiest thing ever. Take it to the beach, take it to the grocery store. It's just the cutest little tote ever. So excited to wear this. This was originally from Topshop, and it's just a really cute little gingham blouse, and it has little ruffle sleeves, a little tie detail. I think gingham is like my new personality trait for the spring, and I just think that this is the cutest, and I love the cut of it. It's perfect. I also found this little hat from Vuori. I just discovered this brand. They opened a store in Nashville, and I went in, and all of their workout stuff was so cute but also so expensive. So I was really excited to find this on ThredUp. It's like the perfect dusty green color, and I just think it's like the cutest little cap. I love it. I got this little dress from the brand BB Dakota. It just has these cute little cap sleeves, buttons down it. You guys know I am a sucker for just a sweet little sundress. You guys can shop ThredUp now. They're having their Mother's Day sale. Everything is 35% off for your first order plus free shipping. You just have to use the code TREATYOU at checkout. I will have everything linked down below, so make sure to check it out. Okay, everybody. She is asleep right now. Oh, she's peeping one eye open. It's just mommy. Look how big she is already. She is 13 pounds. She's 10 weeks old. Her name is Amelia Jane, and Amelia is just a name that me and Marcus have always loved. And oh, she's waking up. We knew if James was going to be a girl, we were going to name him Amelia. So then when we found out that we were having a girl, we knew right away that Amelia was going to be her first name. And then I've just always loved the middle name Jane, and that's actually my mom's middle name. So little shout out to Cece. But yeah, that's her full name, Amelia Jane, and I think it fits her perfectly. And I really thought that we were gonna call her by the nickname Millie. That was like the #1 nickname I had in mind. No one calls her Millie, including me. I don't know why, I just don't feel like she's a Millie. Maybe she will be later on, but the nickname that we've been calling her a lot is Mila, because James called her that when he first met her. And I think Mila Jane is really cute, so we've been calling her that. But this video is all about the 4th trimester recap, and I kind of had forgotten how long your 4th trimester is, and then I looked it up right before I filmed this, and it's actually until you are 12 weeks postpartum, you're in your 4th trimester. So I'm 10 weeks postpartum right now, so I have 2 more weeks of being in my 4th trimester, and I just wanted to talk to you guys about how I've been feeling, how everything's been going, and I did a postpartum recap too with James, and I just feel like this one is a lot different. First, let's just talk about how giving birth is such a crazy thing. No matter how you give birth, it's just the craziest thing. C-section, no medication, medicated, it doesn't matter. Birth is crazy, and it's so hard and so beautiful, and so many unexpected things happen. And I just have to say, women are incredible, and God is incredible, and birth is just something that I will never get over, because I just think it is the craziest thing ever. She came out 8 pounds 4 ounces, and James had come out at 7 pounds, so she was a much bigger baby. I had genuinely forgotten how crazy it is, like the first 48 hours after you give birth. The one thing that I really did forget about was like the post-birth uterus contractions, and they were so much more intense this time. People say that it is more intense with each baby that you have, but oh my gosh, it was so bad. I even wrote it in my notes. I was like, don't forget to tell YouTube how bad the post-birth cramps were, because they were shockingly bad. And then breastfeeding this time around has been way different. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster, but the #1 thing that I told myself this time around was that I was not gonna put so much pressure on myself to breastfeed, even though my goal was to breastfeed. With James, oh my gosh, it was a very stressful journey. I think I talked all about it in my postpartum recap after I had him, if you want to hear all the details. But long story short, James had a tongue tie, which made it very difficult and painful to breastfeed, and then he was losing weight, and then we went on formula, and I had no idea what was going on. I was stressing myself out so much to be able to breastfeed, and I was triple feeding for like over a month, and if you know, you know, that's just not the life that you want to live. So that was just something that I did not want to do with her. I was like, if it doesn't work, or if she has a tongue tie, or like whatever it may be, I'm gonna try to breastfeed, but I'm not going to sacrifice my mental health and like my joy of the newborn phase to breastfeed. And I think just that in and of itself has made the breastfeeding experience so much better. I also just had so much more knowledge about breastfeeding going into it this time, and it's been going so much better. We did have one little obstacle at her 2-week appointment. She hadn't quite gained up back to her birth weight, and my pediatrician really freaked me out about it. And everyone that I talked to other than my pediatrician was like, 2 ounces away from her birth weight at 2 weeks is not something to like absolutely freak out about. But I think since I just what are you doing? I think that since I had just had so much PTSD with the experience with James, I just was like, oh my gosh, I'm not producing enough milk. And then I started spiraling and freaking myself out, and I was like, wait a second, this is what I promised myself that I wasn't gonna do, and then I ended up doing it. Finally, after talking to all of my friends who have breastfed, are you smiling? I kind of like released that stress from myself, and now I feel like we're on a way better trajectory. Any way that you feed your baby is not the easy way out. Any way you feed a baby, it takes a lot of care and effort and time, and whether you're an exclusively pumping mom or you're exclusively breastfeeding or combo feeding or formula feeding, none of it is easy. So I feel like that should be known. I was getting a few questions about body image and weight loss and weight gain, and I thought I could be as transparent as possible with you guys on this video. With James, I had gained 55 pounds and I didn't work out once during my whole pregnancy. With Amelia, I worked out throughout my entire pregnancy, and I was just much more intentional about trying to stay strong. And so I think in total with her, I gained 35 pounds, so 20 pounds less than I gained with James. I feel so much more like myself after giving birth to her than I did after giving birth to James. And I think it's also because I feel still strong, and I don't feel like I'm just an absolute stranger in my body. That's how I genuinely felt after I gave birth to James. And I think it also has to do with the fact that I know what the journey and the process looks like postpartum, because after James, that was like the first time I'd ever had any like huge change to my body in that way. And so I didn't even know what that looked like to start feeling like myself again. And now I'm like, oh, it's fine. Like, I know that I will feel normal again one day, and I'm not going to try to stress myself out about it and rush it, but I am going to continue to try to eat healthy and move my body, but it's nothing to where I feel like totally overwhelmed by it all. So I'm very happy with that difference. Now let's talk about one of the hardest transitions, something that I did not expect, and I think that's also what made it even harder, and that is like the transition between going from one child to 2 children. I expected James to need like a little bit of time to warm up to the idea of having a baby in the house, but I didn't realize how emotional it was gonna be. And I hear that it's different bringing home a baby if you have an older girl than it is bringing home a baby and you have an older boy, because boys sometimes just like have less interest in general with babies. Like, girls usually love baby dolls and they love like taking care of little cute things. Well, let me just say, the first 3 to 4 weeks were rough, and it was the roughest part of the entire thing was the transition, and just having James be so sad about the transition, because there's nothing more that I wanted than James to feel still so special and happy and loved. And let's just say I did everything that I could, Marcus did everything he could, and it was just a really hard transition. The first few weeks, I could just tell he was so sad. He didn't understand. He kept saying, I think I mentioned this on the podcast, but he kept saying, sobbing, saying, I want to go to a new home with no Amelia. And my postpartum hormones quite literally could not take that. I'd be sobbing, he was sobbing. Amelia's like, what have I gotten myself into? Anytime I would be holding her to nurse her, I remember he would come up to me and say, come here, mommy, because he just knew in that moment that I specifically couldn't come here, and that was really hard. Now James is definitely used to her being here. He knows that she is a permanent member of the family now, and so mostly he just ignores her existence, but then sometimes he'll say, I love her, or sometimes he'll say, can I hold her? And there are like those little sparks of happy moments where he does like want to engage with her, but mostly I can totally live with him just feeling loved and happy and ignoring her. I just couldn't live with him being sad and feeling like really, really down about her existence. So I'm really happy that we're out of that phase because wow, that was very difficult for me. I have to say I feel very lucky to have so many friends that live around us. My mom and dad live 15 minutes from us. Marcus's parents live here. Cody and Lexi, Marcus's other sister Shelby, and her husband, like we have such a village, as they would say, and especially this time around, I've realized the necessity of help and how much of a blessing it is, and saying yes to help is so important. With James, I swear I don't think I left him for the first 6 months of his life. Like I just felt like if I leave him even to go shower, like something bad's gonna happen. I knew this time around that just was not going to be possible, especially with having a toddler already. So accepting that help has been, again, life-changing, and just being like, hey, you know, I actually can go to the gym for 30 minutes and leave her at home with Marcus with a bottle, and like everything's gonna be okay. And then the last thing I guess I'll talk about is sleep. So the first 4 or 5 weeks, she was waking up about every 2 hours to nurse, to eat. And then something happened, I don't know, it's miraculous, but something happened around 6 or 7 weeks, and she started doing like 4 to 6 hour stretches. And right now, currently at 10 weeks, she's going to sleep around 9 o'clock in her bassinet. I'll put her down after she falls asleep, and then she will usually sleep till like 4 or 5 in the morning, and then I'll nurse her, and then she'll sleep for like another hour or two. And that's kind of been our schedule the past couple of weeks, and it has been amazing. And I don't even think James slept through the night till he was like 4 or 5 months old. So I'm definitely very happy with her sleep right now. And I just look at her sometimes and I'm just like, I can't believe that you're my girl. And it's just so crazy to think about like me and my mom's relationship, how close we are and how special it is. And I'm like, I get to have that with her. I was just talking about you.
Hey, camera.
I was saying how our relationship is so special. So I just look at her and I think, wow, this is like...
It's like having Kristen all over again.
Yeah, my mom says she looks just like me when I was a baby. But then Marcus's parents say that she looks just like him, so yeah, who really knows?
Bye, guys.
Bye. Well, guys, that's everything that I had planned to talk about today for our little postpartum recap. Thank you again to ThredUp for sponsoring today's video. Again, you guys can get 35% off Mother's Day weekend, and you can also get free shipping. And we will see you guys in the next video. Bye.